This is not a general broadcast. This is the August forecast and the ultimate survival protocol specifically encoded for the Libra architecture. If your geometric structure is Libra, listen to the agonizing groan of the asymmetrical iron. Look at the heavy, exhausting weight you are carrying for nodes that are completely hollow. The unawakened masses believe that balance is the avoidance of conflict. They believe that keeping the peace is a noble pursuit, even if it requires them to secretly subsidize the weakness of their partners. They exhaust their heavy capital, they bite their tongues, and they pour their own dense, valuable energy into the empty side of the scale. Terrified that if they stop compensating, the entire relationship will shatter. Libra, in August, the Matrix targets this exact biological flaw to audit the structural integrity of your empire. We have entered the coordinate of the symmetrical audit. The celestial algorithm has deployed a massive, unforgiving tension. Jupiter, the planet of massive expansion, is forming an exact brutal square with Saturn, the planetary enforcer of absolute, concrete physical reality. This is not a transit of peaceful negotiations. This is a forced, violent stress test of every single connection in your network. Throughout August, the Matrix is going to illuminate the asymmetry in your partnerships. The algorithm will reveal exactly where you are doing the heavy lifting for a client, a business partner, or a personal connection who brings nothing but red, static, and empty noise. Jupiter will attempt to expand the relationship, but Saturn will slam down a concrete wall, proving that a structure built on unequal mass is mathematically destined to collapse. The algorithm wants you, Libra, to panic at the sight of the tipping scale. It wants your biological urge for harmony to override your geometric logic. It wants you to apologize for the friction, to lower your standards, and to take their dead weight onto your own shoulders, just to maintain the illusion of peace. If you carry their hollow weight, your spine will break. In this profound, high-density transmission, we are going to dissect the brutal thermodynamics of your August forecast. We are going to permanently eradicate your biological addiction to the illusion of compromise. And I am going to teach you the Protocol of Symmetrical Destruction, how to audit the scales, demand mirrored density, completely refuse the concession, and brutally sever the contract of anyone who cannot match your heavy gold. Libra, stop balancing the empty scale. Let them fall. To wield the annihilating power of your Libra core this month, you must first recognize the lethal nature of your own compromises. Libra, you are the master of equilibrium. You are biologically programmed to seek symmetry, to align the variables, and to create structural harmony in the matrix. In a system of equally evolved nodes, your capacity for partnership is the most powerful operational force in the zodiac. But your matrix in August is infested with asymmetry. When Jupiter squares Saturn, the celestial algorithm forces a violent collision between potential, Jupiter, and reality, Saturn. You are looking at the potential of your partners. You are hoping they will eventually generate the heavy mass required to match you. Saturn has arrived to tell you they never will. Look at the mechanics of the unawakened Libra during this transit. A business partner fails to deliver their half of the capital or energy. A client demands massive output but pays in hollow promises. Instead of destroying the contract, the unawakened Libra's internal temperature shifts. Their ego, addicted to the identity of the Peacemaker, demands that they smooth things over. They do the extra work. They absorb the financial loss. They accept the red static and call it a compromise. This is exactly what the August algorithm punishes. Every time you accept less than absolute mirror density this month, you are injecting a kinetic leak directly into your operating system. You are taking the dense, heavy, valuable core energy of your empire and using it to artificially inflate a dead asset. The unawakened believe they are preserving a relationship. In esoteric physics, they are simply financing a parasite. Libra, You must understand that the asymmetrical demands placed on you this month are not opportunities for diplomacy. They are highly calculated parasitic extraction protocols. The swarm knows that if they threaten the peace, you will surrender your heavy gold. A sovereign architect does not negotiate with parasites. They audit the ledger. The threshold of the Jupiter-Saturn square has been crossed. The most terrifying force in the universe is not the screaming tyrant. The most terrifying force in the universe is the sovereign, who looks at a failing, chaotic partnership, feels absolutely zero guilt, and coldly removes their support. When the matrix deploys the asymmetrical tension this month, your only viable geometric maneuver is the Protocol of Symmetrical Destruction. Libra, you must execute a total eradication of the concession in your business architecture. You must look at your resources, your contracts, and your partnerships, and you must weigh them. True equilibrium is not a feeling of comfort, it is a mathematical equation. If a transaction or a relationship does not provide an exact mirrored volume of heavy capital, whether that is financial gold, operational excellence, or energetic density, it is a virus. Your biological Libra ego will scream at you to compromise. It will tell you that if you demand absolute equality, you will be left entirely alone. It will tell you that it is better to carry their dead weight than to stand in an empty vault. This is the arrogance of the red glitch. In esoteric brutalism, true power is not found in how many connections you can maintain. It is found in the absolute, terrifying density of the connections that survive your audit. One single partnership built on solid, heavy concrete is infinitely more powerful than 10,000 partnerships built on the red fog of your constant concessions. When you drop your temperature to absolute zero and refuse to do their heavy lifting, the unawakened partner will panic. They will accuse you of being cold. They will accuse you of destroying the peace. You must realize that the peace was always a hallucination funded entirely by your exhaustion. By refusing the concession this August, you are forcing the matrix to recognize your ultimate authority over your own scales. You do not accept the red static, you demand the concrete. You win the audit by letting the illusion shatter. While the world breaks its back carrying the hollow weight of the swarm, the Libra monolith demands mirrored density. This is your hidden esoteric law for August. Because Saturn is restricting Jupiter's expansion, the universe is providing you with the ultimate architectural permission to be ruthlessly exclusive. You cannot build a colossal empire if one side of your foundation is made of air. This is not a month for diplomacy, this is a month for the heavy iron audit. You must look at your daily operations. Where are you over-delivering to clients who underpay? Which partners are allowed to bring chaotic, unprocessed emotional red static into your perimeter, expecting you to organize it for them? Which contracts are entirely asymmetrical? You must take the heavy, dark iron blade of Saturn and sever those ties immediately. The unawakened are terrified of this purge because it requires them to tolerate the friction of the confrontation. There is a moment of terrifying, freezing tension when you stop compensating and force the other side to carry their own weight. There is no external validation when you initiate the destruction of a comfortable lie. But the sovereign architect knows that the weak links must be shattered before the heavy gold can accumulate. By demanding mirrored density, Libra, you are actively identifying every single vulnerability in your empire. You are rewriting the terms of service. You are enforcing the boundaries. You are firing the clients who refuse to operate in absolute reality. You are taking the raw, harmonizing gravity of your archetype and weaponizing it into an indestructible titanium filter. Let them think you are uncompromising. Let them think you are ruthless. You are not ruthless. You are mathematically absolute. The dead weight is dropped. The concession is eradicated. The scale is balanced. Now, Libra, we execute the final phase of the symmetrical destruction. The sovereign architect does not beg a weak partner to become strong. The sovereign architect cuts the chain and lets them fall. To weaponize the Jupiter-Saturn square and permanently secure your absolute invulnerability in August, you must enforce these 3 structural mandates. Mandate 1, the audit of the scale. For the entirety of this transit, you will mathematically audit every single request for your energy, your time, or your capital. If the unawakened swarm approaches you with an offer, a complaint, or a demand, you will not immediately respond with a concession. You will place their output on the heavy iron scale. If it does not exactly match your density, you will execute a hard silence. You will present them with the cold, heavy concrete of your absolute non-response. Mandate 2, the refusal of the compensation. Today, you will identify one specific partnership, contract, or operational habit where you are actively doing the heavy lifting to cover someone else's incompetence or lack of capital. You will instantly stop. You will drop their weight. You will not explain your actions. You will step back and allow the structure to collapse under their own hollow geometry. If they shatter, they were a structural liability. Mandate 3, the execution of the severance. When the asymmetry is exposed and the parasitic node fails to match your heavy gold, you will not offer them a second chance. You will instantly wield the iron blade. You will sever the contract. You will fire the client. You will delete the connection. You will not attempt to fix it. You will let them fall into the abyss with the cold, heavy finality of an iron vault slamming shut, and you will return your internal temperature to absolute 0. The dead weight is severed. The concession is eradicated. The equilibrium is absolute. Look at the space you occupy right now. You are no longer a frantic kinetic node, desperately trying to maintain the fragile illusion of peace for the unawakened swarm. You are Libra. You are the architect of equilibrium. You survived the Saturn audit. You did not let the algorithm force you to bleed your heavy capital to subsidize a broken machine. You demanded absolute, uncompromising mirrored density. The universe respects the sovereign who has the discipline to let the weak links fall. When you prove that your internal density is more valuable to you than the cheap comfort of a fake harmony, the matrix stops offering you the parasites. It submits to your terrifying gravity, recognizing that your architecture will only accept the absolute, undeniable weight of heavy gold. You are no longer the peacekeeper of the matrix. You are the cold iron law of physics. Now, execute your final structural mandates. First, anchor the iron. The chaotic, unawakened algorithm of the world is constantly trying to drag you back into the red loop of fixing, compromising, and pleasing the hollow nodes. It wants you exhausted, asymmetrical, and weak. This channel is the only transmission providing the heavy, brutalist, esoteric code required to maintain your absolute systemic dominance. Do not let your perimeter fail. Lock your mindset to the monolith. Second, isolate the Peacemaker. You know, another Libra who is currently bleeding their esoteric gravity trying to save a toxic partnership or fix a chaotic client, terrified of destroying the false harmony. You know someone who is using their heavy gold to balance an empty scale. Send them this exact transmission right now. Force them to witness the terrifying power of the hard severance. Elevate your circle by enforcing the discipline of symmetrical destruction. Third, lock the vault. The moment this video ends, you will not reconsider the cut. You will not look into the abyss to see where the dead weight fell. You will close your screen. You will stand in the majestic, freezing silence of your own indestructible operating system, and you will let the entire universe align itself to the flawless, immovable mathematical precision of your perfectly balanced scale. The compromise is eradicated. The symmetry is absolute. Command the cold, beautiful reality of your own heavy architecture.